self-discipline a little bit differently this morning. You know, a couple weeks ago, we talked about we talked about falling in love with the process. It's not about the outcome, it's about the process, because the process leads to the outcomes that we're always looking for.
And they don't understand.
Sorry, John Maxwell wanted to talk again in the background. He wasn't done yet. It's falling in love with the process. The process isn't the most fun thing to do every single day, yet it's the thing that leads us to the results that we're looking for, and it has to be done. It has to be done. So he said a couple of things there that I want to make sure you heard. Everything worthwhile is uphill. You know, I've heard it said before, nobody ever accidentally ends up on Mount Everest. Nobody accidentally wakes up and says, oh my God, I made it to the summit, I'm here. They went through some of the most challenging training in their entire life. They went through some of the most rigorous mountainous areas in the world. And chances are they might have had people on their team that didn't make it. They might have had people on their team that died on the journey because they weren't ready. Everything worthwhile is uphill. And he said, the challenge is so many people have uphill dreams, but downhill habits. So their thinking is up here, but their actions are pointing down here. You can't make it to the top if you're constantly creating and feeding the habits that are taking you down. It's impossible to have continuous success without discipline. Yeah, occasionally could you get a win every now and then just accidentally? Yeah, absolutely. What's the saying? Sometimes even a blind squirrel finds a nut, right? Sometimes you might just accidentally win, but are you going to sustain that success accidentally in the long run? Absolutely not. Self-discipline is what takes you there. 4 days of climbing is wiped out with 1 day of coasting. Now, what John Maxwell is saying here is not, don't ever take a vacation, don't ever take time to yourself. He's saying, be intentional. Be intentional. If you're going to take a break from your business, that's fine. Those 4 days leading up to it, work harder than you have. Work harder than you have so that you sustain that success when you come back to it. You know, we see this in real estate all the time. And Gary Keller and in Bold, they teach us to keep our foot on the pedal and push it down on the lead generation. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Yet what so many people do is as soon as they get in the middle of being busy, guess what? They stop lead generating. They stop going and looking for those next opportunities. They focus only on the now business that they have right now at hand. And when they finish that, they have nothing. Why? Because we started to coast. We got busy in the 80% and stopped focusing on the 20%. That 20% is so important. The 20% is those 5 things that you should be doing every day: lead generate, lead follow-up, go on appointments, negotiate contracts, practice script and role play, or practice conversations and role play now, so we're TCPA compliant. But those are the 5 things that are in our 20% that lead to the 80%. Now, in that 5 things right there, were any of those things go and sit in on a house while the inspector is there for 3 hours? No, I didn't hear that there. By the way, most inspectors have access to the house. You don't have to be there the whole time. Should you show up? Yeah, show up at the end. They don't need you to babysit them for the whole inspection. Stay in your 20% so that you have more business on the opposite side. Self-discipline enables you to go uphill. You have to do it yourself. Accidental achievements aren't possible. That doesn't say that accidental success sometimes isn't impossible. Sometimes it can be, but That's getting lucky. There's a difference between getting lucky and creating your own luck. Two different things. Self-discipline is creating your own luck. Ask yourself, are you going through it or are you going to it? Are we looking at the destination and going through the bridge, or are we in a tunnel and we have no idea where it's leading? That's going through it. The bridge is going to it because we can see so clearly in our mind what is on the other side of it. You know that saying, I can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. Well, that's usually often the case because you forgot what the destination was. I'm going to go back to Walt Disney for just a second. He was on a bridge. He knew exactly what the destination looked like, and he was able to paint a picture so clearly that everyone around him could see what the destination looked like too. And they said, Walt, sign us up. We want to invest in Disney. We want to invest in Disneyland. You know, I was listening to, I'm going to talk about Elon Musk for a second. And trust me, I know he's done some very interesting things over the last year. But he was asked in an interview the other day, or maybe it was a couple months ago, from somebody, why should I invest in Tesla? And he looked at the guy and he said, you know, I've never really tried to convince anyone to invest in Tesla. He said, you either believe in what we're doing and you see what we see, or you don't, and that's okay. The people who believe in what we're doing and see what we see, they can invest. I'd love for them to invest, but I'm not going to sit here and try to convince them to do it. I know what I see. I think I've cast a vision for what I see. And if people want to do what I'm doing and be a part of the journey, they'll come along with me. If that's not confidence in a company, I don't know what is. So are you going through it or are you going to it? And the last thing he said is the difference when you have when you have it is this. The difference between temporary success and sustained success comes from self-discipline. The difference between temporary success and sustained success comes from self-discipline. It's so important that you choose something to get better at every single day, something to discipline yourself at. And I'm not asking you to change your entire world overnight. I'm asking you to choose one thing, one place that you want to improve in your life, that if you improved it would allow you to then move to another place that you could improve as well, to allow you to have a different feeling than you ever have before, a different life than you've ever had before. It doesn't start with all the things. It starts with one thing. That's why Gary Keller wrote a book called The One Thing. You can't try to do all of them at the same time. As a matter of fact, multitasking is next to impossible. So what are you taking away from our conversation today? All right, well, nobody's got any takeaways, then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Find that area of your life where you need self-discipline today. And like John Maxwell said, put it on your calendar and do it every single day. For him, it's writing. He said, I'm either writing the book right now or thinking about the book that I'm going to write while I'm currently writing the one, so that I can constantly be creating. When they asked him, how do you do it? He said, it's simple. I write every day. I get out a legal pad and I write every day. What is the one thing that you need to do today? I appreciate you all for being here today. And remember, everything you want in your life is right outside of your comfort zone. Choose to find self-discipline today in that one area where you're willing to get a little bit more uncomfortable so you can have everything you've ever wanted. I appreciate you and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.